workout. Welcome back to the Nook. For today's workout, we're doing a little twist on my road trip variation. It's a combination of a stretch and a strength when you don't have a ton of energy to work out, but you know you need that boost in the middle of the day or right after you get out of the car. So sit up nice and tall. You don't need any specific equipment or anything. Just sit in your space, hands on your knees. Roll your shoulders all the way forward, all the way up to your ears, and then press them down your back. Plant one hand to the side, reach the other one up and over, not letting those sits bones, keep those glutes on the earth, and then switch it. All the way up, and all the way over. Very gently, as slow and as gentle as you need, depending on what you just came from. Whether it is getting out of the car, or out of the office, or a busy day at the playground with those kiddos. Keeping those hands to the side, sitting up tall. Tip your head to one side, ear towards your shoulder, down to the middle, and off to the side, and then down to the middle, and off to the side. Finding a gentle twist, emphasis on gentle, peeking back, maybe over that shoulder, or even at 45 degrees. The length is in the spine. There's control in the twist. You can go the other direction. Sitting up tall, twisting it out. And then come back through center. I'm going to turn. You don't need to. Turn onto hands and knees. 2 cat-cows. So inhale, tailbone goes towards the sky. So does your gaze. Exhale, round it out. Inhale for cow. Arch that back. Stretch your neck, and then we tuck it all in. And then we come back to neutral. Reach your left leg back, right hand forward, lifting and lowering. So think hip height, shoulder height at most. And both limbs are reaching crazy long. So like I'm pulling your hand and a friend's pulling your foot. Now we'll hold at the top and we'll find a pulse. Getting in some of that work. Both hip flexors still facing the floor. So those hip bones are turned down, thumb towards the sky. And then keeping the pulse or reach it back and find that foot for that quad stretch. Can't get your foot, no worries. Pull your heel towards your glute. You'll still feel a stretch to the front side of your leg. And then we all reach it out with extension and set it down. Left hand goes forward. Right leg goes back for the lift and lower. Your gaze is slightly out in front. And take it at a pace that works for you. If you need to move a little slower, that's okay. You showed up, that's what's important. Now keep it at the top. We find the pulse first. And then either keep the pulse or add the quad stretch, reach around, pulling your heel towards your glute, keeping that knee lifted, and then re-extend. Find the length, and then sit it down. Then we come up all the way onto our knees, reach it tall in the sky, and add a back bend. So cactus for arms or goalpost bend, eyes go up. Inhale tall, exhale back. Inhale tall, this time like you're really pulling something down. Pull it down strong, and then stretch it up. Send the knees nice and wide, big toes to touch, into a child's pose. Now if your forehead doesn't reach the floor, stack your hands, let the back of your neck release. Taking a big inhale through your nose, and then exhale out the mouth, letting go of any stress or tension you're holding on to. As we pass through this tabletop, and then bringing your left leg forward. So left leg forward into this low lunge, and then we're going to shift it back to a half split. Now, it might just be here. You might have to come here, hands on hips, that's okay. Maybe you're someone that can fold it completely forward. Wherever you are, you want to feel a long extension and a good stretch through this front leg. We lean it forward, this time both hands in the center. So we find a lizard lunge, hips go closer to the earth. or toe and you stand it all the way up, hands on your hips. Here comes a little bit of the strength. We bend and straighten, both legs bend and straighten. We bend and straighten, just to promote some blood flow through those joints, just a little bit of strength to get those muscles moving, and get your mind right for whatever comes next. Last one down. And then simply come down, switch legs in front, and we go into that low lunge. Now, treating each side as an individual. What worked on one might not work on the other. Slide it back to your half split. Slide it forward to your lizard lunge, so both hands inside, sinking a little bit lower. And then keeping on the hands on the inside, that leg is at an angle for that hamstring stretch. Walk it back forward once again, and then we come all the way up to that lunge, and we bend and straighten. It's just 5. One more. This time we come all the way down. Wide hands, very wide hands. We're going into a push-up or a modified push-up. Wide elbows, tuck those hips, especially if you're modifying, and elbows go wide. How low can you go? If you're on your feet, feet go wide. How low can you go? I'm still dealing with some elbow issues. I'm going to modify and get a big range of motion through my modified push-up. If you're on your knees, your feet can certainly come up, just don't cross them. And think those elbows are going really wide to the side. If you have the luxury of a yoga mat, my hands are off my mat. For last 2 and last 1. Flip it over onto your back. Combination stretch and strength. Knees come up to 90 degrees. Flex through those feet. Now goal post your hands. Drop your knees to the right, but don't let them touch. Drop your knees to the left, but don't let them touch. Back to center using your core. Over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. One more with a strength piece. Exhale, left. And this time we drop them to the right. I'm just going to scoot for space. Drop your knees to the right. Look to the left. And then with your left hand, reach for your right ear. Gently, emphasis on gently, guide your head a little bit more to look to the left. The knees come up, over to the left, gaze to the right, and now we take that right hand, left ear, very gently to guide our head to look a little bit more to the right side. Back to center, hug your knees into your chest, and then plant those feet pretty close together on the ground. They don't have to glue together, but it's a very narrow stance. I'll show you where we're going with this. We're doing a one-legged bridge. So the left leg will press first. My right leg can be up, it can be straight, or it can cross over, depending on your hip flexibility. And the left one is doing the work. So it's a lift and it's a lower. So this is a great stretch for that hip flexor if you've been sitting in the car and your glutes haven't done much all day. We hit a single leg bridge. Last 2, any leg variation, and then simply press the right foot down the left leg. Try the same variation on the left leg. Just lifting and lowering. Try Trying to relax through your upper body. So you're not gripping your face, not really pressing with those hands. Just let that right side do the work. Last 2. And 1, relax it. Take that right leg once again, cross it over, thread the needle. Little hip opener. Pulling that left hip towards you, the right leg away from you. Try to relax your upper back. There's no reason to turn this into a core exercise. Gently release, cross the left over the right. And then release both. Put your big toes to touch, the bottoms of your feet glued together. The knees go nice and wide. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Big inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Switch your hands. Big inhale. Exhale. Then press your feet, the outer edges of your feet, into the ground. Your tailbone tucks, and then we lift and lower. Last piece of strength, last piece of energy as we press into the outside edge of our feet and our tailbone tucks. These very, very low abdominals, if you've been sitting, have been weak and inactive a lot of the day, we're going to turn them back on. Gaze goes towards the ceiling, straight up in the air. It's just 3, 2, and 1. Can you extend those legs and sit it all the way up, back into a comfortable seat. 1 more inhale together all the way up. Hands come to heart center. We thank ourselves for showing up even if you didn't want to. You did it. I hope your body feels better and your mind's in a better place. Once again, I'm Sarah. Thanks for joining me in this nook for this 15-minute road trip workout. Go have a great day.